Hey everyone, my name is Ronak, back with another video. This is 19th video in the Getting Started with the Machine Learning playlist, and in this video you are going to learn train test split. So what is train test split? So far now we have only considered some of the static data, but now you will have to learn to work with the different kind of data, okay, where you will have a set of values. So it is not going to be as easy as it sounds, but it will be easy when I'll teach you. So you have only looked at the examples which contain the 5 values, let's say 5 or 10 values, 5 to 10 values. But the real world data is going to be very much different. So for now, we are actually going to focus on some of the data sets. Alright, so in this video, I want to show you how you can prepare your data, take a data from, let's say, outside for your model. Okay, so here I'll say new, make a new Python file. And here I'll say train test split, okay, which is the today's video. So what is this? I'll tell you. So there are a lot of data sets, but where you can get one. Okay, so the most common data set that you can come across is the Titanic data set. All right, so here I'll say Titanic data set. This is one of the most common data sets that you can come across. All right, so here on the Kaggle, you can get the data set. All right. So this data set, it's about the Titanic disaster that happened. So where the ship actually sunk and many people died. Okay, so this data set, if we look at it, okay, and if you go at the train.csv, okay, so here the reason is, so this is working on the basis of the competition. So what we will have to do is we will have to sign in or register. I do have my Kaggle account. Okay, so that is one of the things. But here I'll give you one more technique. So I'll say Titanic dataset and I'll say CSV. Okay, and then you can come across this gist.github.com. Okay, so here you can have your Titanic.csv. Okay, so this is an entirely different data set. Okay, you can either clone this repo if you want, or let's say you can download it in a raw format. See, this is a big data set. Okay, so where you have 891 values. Okay, so this is a really great data set, and you can use it the way you want. All right, so here I'll show you. So if you want to try the conventional manner, you can click on the raw, and then you can say Control A. And you can say save. This is my folder where the dataset will be there. So here it has already been there, and here I'll say save, and it has been saved. All right, and now here I go. So here I'll say, so first of all I'll import pandas. So pandas has been covered in the last tutorial itself. After that we will have to use this dataset. So I'll say df, that is data frame. I'll say pd.read_csv. Why? Because we have it in the CSV format. I can just press tab, and here I'll have, let's say, Titanic.csv. And now here I'll say df.head, because I'm pretty much interested in the first 5 values, which are actually going to yield me whatever is there. So we can perform a lot of things, but this video is about the train test split. Okay, so what is train test split? So train test split indicates that just like we know, we haven't had any testing data in the earlier models because we were only interested in the mathematical intuition of it. But in this video, we are particularly going to focus on what is happening with the train test and split. So train test split indicates that we have to split the data in a particular ratio with which you are going to train, and then you are going to test your model based on some of the different values. Okay, so you are not concerned about the data that you have already learned, but you are trying to evaluate the performance of the data. For that, we are going to use train test split. So train test split, you can write your own function, but that is quite hassle, and scikit-learn actually provides us with a good, I would say, type of method. Okay, so you can actually leverage that in order to get your work done. So here, considering the fact, let's say in a common machine learning model, what am I actually going to be concerned about? All right, so there are a lot of things in this data. Okay, but let us now just imagine that I'm only interested in the age. Okay, there are a lot of things that will be covered, trust me. But now let us only focus on let's say the passengers class. All right, so and the age. All right, and then we can go with the let's say whether the passenger survived or not. Okay, so the X data, all right, the X data that we have is going to pretty much handle what is there with the age and the passenger class. So here I can say X underscore data, which is equal to, I'll say df, and I now want the name of the column, so I'll say age, and another is the passenger class. Okay, I am only concerned, okay, this is not a models video to be precise. Okay, I am only trying to focus on how we can actually split this data. And then here I'll say x dot shape, x underscore data, sorry. Okay, x underscore data dot shape. So it gives me 891 rows with 2 columns, and here I can say x underscore data dot head, which will actually print my first 5 values. Okay, so I'm only concerned with the age and the passenger class, nothing else. Similarly, I only want the survived. Okay, so survived. So this data set actually checks if the person has survived or not. Okay, so 0 indicates the person has died and 1 indicates the person has survived. Okay, so in order to do that, what I'll do is I'll say y data. All right, y data. So y is always taken as lowercase and x is always considered as an uppercase. Okay, so that is just the convention that usually everyone follows. All right, coming back to the topic. So here what I can do is, now see, I can either extract it by with this method, or I can drop other things, but let us just extract for now. Okay, here I'll say survived. Now you might be wondering, why am I actually using a single brace, square brace over here and here 2 braces? In the data frames concept, I am particularly concerned about using multiple columns in one single data frame extraction point. Okay, so I have to say that, okay, this is 2-dimensional because we have 2 values. So I am using, so this is for multiple dimension. Okay, so you can also increase the number of the columns over here, it doesn't matter. And why here I have only just one thing the way it is. So here I can say y data dot shape and I can get the shape. So it is 891 rows with 1 column, 1 is by default, and I can say y underscore data dot head, and we have it. Okay, so the first passenger died, the other one has survived, died, survived, and everything. Okay, so 1 stands for actually survived and 0 stands for died. Now, and I actually want to split this data for, let's say, our model. Okay, we have a model for which we want let's say 80% of our data to be for training and 20%. So it is going to train on the basis of the 80% of the data, and then it is going to test on the 20% of the data, and these will be all of the values that it hasn't seen ever in its let's say life cycle. All right, so the way we do it, so for that you will need a library known as sklearn. Okay, if you haven't installed, you can install it like this. So from pip install, you will have to say scikit-learn. All right, so the reason I'm using hyphen over here is because I am operating inside the Jupyter notebook. If you are using a command prompt, you can just skip the exclamation. Okay, you might be knowing this because I'm not going to cover much more Python. If you want, you can have it. All right, so here I am saying pip install scikit-learn. For me it says requirement already satisfied because I have already installed it. So now here I'm going to say, so I actually want now to import this thing so that we can work accordingly. So the way I do it, okay, so I'll say from sklearn dot, all right, we want the train test split. So I'll say model underscore selection import train test split. Okay, so train underscore test underscore split, that is the name. And now the way I use it, so I want to split the training and testing data. So I'll say x train, all right, then x test, x train, x test, y train, y test, all right, is equal to train test split, that is the name of the method, and here I'll give it x data and y data. Okay, so it automatically is going to take your x and y data and it is going to make the considerable splits and then give you out your data. All right, I'm not much, again I'm saying I'm not much focusing on the model aspect of it. there is a lot of pre-processing which we will do in the upcoming videos with respect to each and every single concept. Okay, so we are going to build our concepts based on a certain set of data values, and then you can learn accordingly. Now the next thing is you can specify your test size. So I'll select 20%. All right, so I'm saying 0.2, okay, which states 20%. Apart from that, you also have random state. So this random state is responsible for shuffling and taking the random values. So I'll just say 100. All right, and we have it. And now I can say xtrain.shape, and it gives me 712. Okay, so if we check the shape of our data, it is 891. So the 80% of 891 is basically, it is giving us out as 712. Similarly, I can check the y-train shape. All right, y-train shape, and it is going to give me 712. Okay, so my training data is 712 rows. All right, now I can check the xtest.shape. Similarly, I can check the ytest.shape. All right, and we have it. So it is saying that 179 values I am going to test with my model. Okay, so far now we have came over here. We will also implement the model that we have learned, which is the logistic regression. Okay, so I can say from sklearn.linear model, I am going to import logistic regression, and then I'll make let's say object for my class. So I'll say model, and then I'll say logistic regression. All right, and I'll say model.fit, and it is going to take xtrain and ytrain, and we have a value error. Okay, so this actually contains NaN values. All right, that is the issue. That is the reason it is not able to give. So here I can say xtrain dot isna, and we have it. Okay, so there are a lot of NaN values in this. I can say dot sum. All right, and there are actually a lot of values. I think that is a method. Yeah. So the age has around 145 NaN values. So as we say, okay, so we can, for now, at this moment, all right, at this moment, I'm going to actually drop them. I don't care. Okay, or let's say I can just fill them. So I can say fill NA with 0, and I'll say in place is equal to true. Now why in place is equal to true? So this line holds the data in the place. All right, so we have it, and I filled these values. Okay, my model is going to go very bad, I know, but I'm not considering. We will actually look each and every single aspect of it in the upcoming videos, how we are actually going to handle the missing values, or let's say null values, or let's say disturbed values, skewness, and everything. We are going to cover each and every single aspect in order to make this model good for running. And now first of all, let me check it. Okay, so I'll say xtrain dot isna, all right, which is null dot sum, and we have it. Okay, so since I have replaced the null values with 0, okay, so model is going to be pretty bad. I know that this is not the conventional method that we should be following. So I'll say now model.fit, and I'm going to pass it xtrain and ytrain, and we have it. And now I'll say model.predict. So I can, so actually before doing that, I'm going to check that if my xtest has any null values. So I'll say isna and then sum. So sum actually gives me the sum. Okay, so here also I have 32 null values. So the way I do it, xtest.fill NA, that is fill null values with 0, and I'll say in place is equal to true. Now if I don't use in place is equal to true, like I said, this entire thing will be only limited to this cell. Okay, I want it to be used inside my program. Okay, I think this is some valid warning. Alright, I'll check it later on. Coming back to the point, so now I'll say xtest Actually, this was not a model making video, but we actually got into it. Okay, so this is the way you work on it. All right, so this is the practical approach, pretty much, I would say. And we have it. Okay, so we have 0 null values at the moment. Now the way we do it, I'll say model.predict. Model.predict. I can first of all make a variable. I'll say ypred is equal to model.predict, where I'm going to pass xtest, and we have it. And now I can check the score. So I can say from sklearn dot metrics import accuracy score, and I'll say accuracy score, which is going to take 2 values. So it is going to take my y prediction and y test, and we have it. So it's a 68%. Pretty much bad. Okay, pretty much bad. And we are in the upcoming videos going to try to improve the accuracy of this model. I think there is a model.score. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it actually requires 2 values. So xtrain, it takes your xtrain and ytrain and evaluate score for you. And it's a 69. Okay, so nearly close, I would say. So very poor accuracy if we consider, because we have done some pretty bad things over here. Okay, so I have actually replaced, like a very rookie developer does, I am just replacing the null values. This is not the right approach. Okay, there is something known as imputation that we will look in the upcoming videos. Okay, so pre-processing stuff is a lot. Okay, and this actually comes under the ETL, and data engineers pretty much work on it. And this is a very difficult task, I would say. Not difficult, it is more, I would say, tedious. All right, you have to look at many aspects so that it is going to yield the best results with the model. Okay, so considering the fact this video was on the basis of the train test split, which I hope you might have got a little bit of idea. And later on, I just wanted to show you the way we feed it to the model. Okay, so this is the way we work with a large number of data set, and I would say this is nothing. Okay, so 891 values are nothing. We have to work on, let's say, thousands of values. Okay, there can be let's say 100,000 values, million values. So similarly, we have to change our methodologies and whatnot. Okay, so this notebook will be available to you in the description box below in the source code. Okay, and I hope you might have learned something or the other. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel and share with the people whom you wish to. Okay, so I hope you might have gained something or the other from this video. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.